Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be reading you a book today called A Moon for Mo and Mo, and it is about two holidays. One is a Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and a Muslim holiday, which is going on right now, called Ramadan. Moses Feldman lived at one end of Flatbush Avenue, and Muhammad Hassan lived at the other. One fall day, each boy went with his mother to a store right in the middle of the avenue. Bells tinkled when they went inside. The air smelled of spices and fresh teas. Baskets were filled with apricots, figs, dates, nuts, and pomegranates, bursting with seeds that glistened like little red jewels. Each boy ran down the market's aisles. When Moses grabbed powdered candies, Mrs. Feldman cried out, "Mo, don't touch!" as sweet nougats tumbled off a shelf. Mrs. Hassan warned, "Mo, be more careful." Mo and Mo turned around and stared at each other. Sugar dusted their noses, cheeks, and fingers. "Are you twins?" asked Mr. Sahadi, the store owner, "or cousins?" Each boy shook his head no. Mo peered at Mo's dark curly hair and brown eyes, just like his. Mo noticed Mo's olive skin and shy smile, just like his. Mr. Sahadi handed each boy a piece of thick taffy. "Thank you," they said together, both grinning widely. "Do you live around here?" asked Mo. Mo pointed down the street one way. "I live here too," said Mo, pointing the other way. Mo bounced his favorite ball, the pink rubber one that had lots of bounce, toward Mo. Mo bounced it back. Back and forth it went, until it rolled behind Mr. Sahadi's counter. "I think this kind of ball is better in a food store," said Mr. Sahadi. He gave them each a large falafel ball, still warm, stuffed inside fluffy pita bread. "I'm so full, I feel like I swallowed a big bowling ball," Mo said after he took his last bite. "Me too," said Mo, patting his stomach. While Mrs. Feldman waited with her basket, Mrs. Hassan waited with hers. When it was time to go, the boys waved. "See you soon," they called out, but they didn't. Weeks passed. Mrs. Feldman was getting ready for Rosh Hashanah, the holiday celebrating the New Year. As she made a brisket and rugelach, Mo got pastry dough everywhere. "Enough, Mo," sighed Mrs. Feldman. Mrs. Hassan was preparing for Ramadan, the holiest month of the year. As she roasted lamb and mixed date cookies, Mo spilled chopped dates on the floor. "Enough, Mo," sighed Mrs. Hassan. Finally, their mothers decided to take a break and brought each boy to the park. The boys were surprised to see each other. "Race you to the playground," yelled Mo. "On your mark, get set, go," Mo yelled back. They climbed, swung, and played hide and seek. Meanwhile, both mothers glanced around the crowded playground. Where was Mo and Mo? Mrs. Feldman ran in circles. "Mo, Mo!" Mrs. Hassan was also frantic. "Mo, Mo!" Fearful moments felt like endless hours. They decided to search together. That's when they found Mo and Mo, happy and muddy. The boys looked up from digging. Each mother held her son and cried tears of joy. "You are the sun, moon, and stars," Mrs. Hassan said to Mo. "And everything in between," Mrs. Feldman said to Mo. And then the mothers hugged each other. As they all walked home, Mo asked, "Can we have a picnic in the park later?" Both mothers nodded. At sundown, they feasted under a leafy tree. Mo brought date cookies crumbled with almonds. Mo brought rugelach rolled with raisins. "Shalom," said Mo's family, wishing peace. "Salam," said Mo's family, wishing peace. That night, the first sliver of the moon shone down on Mo. He looked out his bedroom window and whispered to the starry sky, "A blessed Ramadan, Mo." Mo also looked out his bedroom window and whispered into the moonlight, "Happy New Year, Mo." And the same moon watched over both boys as they slept, Mo at one end of Flatbush Avenue and Mo at the other. Here's a little information about Rosh